You are listening to Small Talk, where two Gen Z communication major talks about stuff on the internet.
Broadcasting live from the comfort of our homes, you're listening to Small Talk. I'm your host, May, with the person that I am hoping and wishes that I will graduate with because there's only two of us in this batch. Ivy, welcome, Ivy.
Good evening, everyone. It is a chilly night of uh, November 3rd, 2021.
Again, you're hearing the voice of May, a student of AUP Development Communication.
And Ivy, also a student of Development Communication in Adventist University of the Philippines, present here today to go in depth with today's topic, which is historical revisionism, its effects to the country, and how we can somehow stop it.
Good evening, everyone, and good evening to our listeners. Ivy, can I ask you, have you revised something?
Good evening to everyone, and good evening to you as well, partner. Since I am a graduate of Humanities and Social Sciences, and now a student of Development Communication, in the past I have a lot of papers to do, which obviously needs revising from the comments of my former professors and former teachers. So revising research papers, revising essays, revising narrative reports, and script as well. I have done a lot of revisioning way back in my senior high days and junior high days. What about you, partner?
Of course, as well as I studied theater arts in junior high school, revising is very, very evident. I experience it a lot as well when it comes to script, when it comes to scenes, to have an effect on what is better. I think revising is such a normal thing for us, especially now in our university, which, as you said, we are a communication major, so we write a lot and we do revise a lot as well. But aside from that, how about experiencing historical revisionism?
I mean, um, when you say historical revisionism or experiencing historical revisionism, I think on the internet it's really evident. It's really everywhere on the internet. Since social media is full of active users with different stands on different things. I for sure have encountered some posts and claims that might have been considered as historically incorrect or baseless, mainly because they are based on their own opinions and perspective. Then the one those who post and share those things. I don't really know if it is historical revisionism or just plainly wrong information. I mean, is that historical revisionism? How do you even define historical revisionism at this point?
Well, according to Philippine Social Science Center, while the term historical revisionism has become largely pejorative, Dr. Lianes clarified that there is nothing inherently wrong with revising historical accounts. In fact, he emphasized that revision is a necessary endeavor when new information or witness accounts come to light. He said historians always revise as new facts or data present themselves. The type of revisionism that historians engage in aims to produce the most accurate accounts given all available information, a stark contrast with the way the term is often used today.
So, just to clarify the statement that you said, historical revisionism is not bad
Yeah,
if it is based, if the revision is based with or backed with research. So, what we're saying is there is a negative and positive side of historical revisionism. It is
exactly.
positive when it is based with facts, when more data are uh, supports the revisionism that a certain historian or group of historians are planning to do. But it is negative when it is based on opinions and false information or fabricated information.
So yeah,
Narrative, yes. So basically, a narrative will not just magically be part of history without verifying its source and existence.
yeah, exactly. That is revising someone should be revising something. I mean, like the historical revisionism, it should be factual and well studied, and not just because of like the talk of the town, like the elders said, it should be from the historians. It should be researched, as you said earlier.
So, historical revisionism really has its positive and negative side. So, let's get to know more the negative side since it is the most um, rampant or evident in social media and in society in general. Let's get to know the negative side and what if does it if it remains unchallenged by facts.
So, starting off, let's talk about historical revisionism here in the Philippines. For me, it is Bongbong Marcos claiming he graduated and is a degree holder from Oxford University, despite the actual Philippine Society proving his false claim. Do you have any more?
I mean, to add to that, I think that the themselves clearly stating that although Ferdinand Marcos Jr. really attended Oxford, he did not graduate. So, and claiming that he is a graduate when in fact he is not is historical revisionism. Further than that, I might also add the denial of human rights violation under whoever who really, may it be the current leader or the one, the most, the most famous dictator of the Philippines,
Yeah.
the denial of those violations that happened in their time is historical. I think it is a negative historical revisionism.
These historically revised narratives can unfortunately be found on quite a lot of platforms, from social media to even some published academic materials with no concrete sources. Imagine wrong information going through our academic materials.
It as an educator, I think it's really sad that there are some publications or academic materials that exist with historically incorrect or
Right.
information. When it comes to information, there are incorrect or misleading information in it, and whether we like it or not, we may encounter those who support these materials deeply and passionately. Even if we meet one personally and decide that we have to inform them of correct facts, we should approach them with nice composure and ask them where they get such stories and accounts.
Yeah. And once they cite their sources and there might be errors, we should calmly, like very calmly, educate them, give them official links, credible sources, and never ever engage in arguments.
Right, because there are times we can't deny it that there are times where we get heated or someone gets heated. Some side will get heated when it comes to defending what they believe in. The best we can do when someone is getting amped up when we present them factual information in a calm manner is to really not push further because pushing further will only cause further arguments and then there might be personal attacks on you that is not necessary but they think they it is because they are defending what they believe in. So maybe after some time we should just stop and then maybe they will realize in time that there are fault and inconsistencies in what they believe in and then they will side with the truth.
Because yeah, when you encounter this in an online setting, it's the process is still the same. Always be calm and make sure that your own answers have distinct and factual from theirs. If you can avoid engaging in online arguments, which is better, but there is always time that we just want to answer them because what they are saying is not even true, and we as communicators, we want to correct them. Just remember to fact check, because imagine if we will just let this happen over and over again and will not be countered, what will happen in the future?
Yeah, if we don't engage or we don't interact with those posts with factual or fact check information, we do not engage with them, the narrative that they believe will be continued to be presented or be told to their peers, maybe to their children, and then that will be the assumed history or assumed what happened to a country, and we don't want that to happen. that will be the narrative that the generations after them will carry, which is frightening to even imagine. Imagine denying, for example, denying that the Holocaust happened, for example, or denying that the people power happened.
Yeah.
It As communicators, it is our line of work to educate and speak with facts. Luckily, the generations that came after those who promote negative historical revisionism are the one doing most in straightening up the narrative, both personally and on the internet.
Yeah, it is us. And I think at this point, we are the one who has the capability to really do our research and is aware of what is true and not, especially us both who are in this line of profession. We want the best for our community and we don't want them to get distracted with false information. As communicators, we know what we need to do and how we should act in this kind of situations.
Also, we are very fortunate to be born in the day of uh, at the peak of the digital age, since us Gen Zs and millennials are more capable and more perceptive when it comes to using and understanding technology and the power of the internet. We are really able to dig facts that we need in order to combat those false narratives, false accusations, and really just false history that is uh, very present on the internet. And in order to fight the negative side of historical revisionism, we need to continue using our swift capabilities to do research and present them in counter on true online posts. I mean, I'm not implying that that only Gen Z and the millennials can do research. With the ease of access that we have on the internet and the user friendliness of many reliable sources, I mean, there are tutorials on the YouTube. You don't really need to um, be there is no need to be so hesitant when it comes to using the internet or when it comes to exploring, because there are a lot of examples and guides. Ignorance of fact at this age of information is a choice and not a hindrance.
In this time of hesitancy and historical revisionism that is more evident these days because of the campaigning era for Halalan 2022, we should not be discouraged to point out the wrong. Let's help eradicate the fake news and fake narratives brought by historical revisionism that other people are saying online because it will affect the future generations. We need to stop it now so you won't need to deal with them again.
Also, history is a long account of a country that cannot and should not be revised with false information in it, because it tells the story of a country, of a community that, unlike folklore, should be passed down to centuries without changes brought by different lips telling the story, or time or ignorance.
That's right. And the age group, Gen Zs mostly, who are incredibly under thumbs and fingers, searching and presenting history the way it should be, is a great help to combat rewriting our own history. Let's all unite, communicate, and help each other to eradicate historical revisionism.
And this ends our pilot episode of Small Talk. Thank you so much for hearing us. Again, this is Ivy, student of Development Communication in Adventist University of the Philippines.
And I am May. Catch us on our next project to be released on November 8th at 8 p.m.